What is up, guys? Welcome back to another daily build video. This time we're going to take a look at the LaFerrari, which is a hypercar in the Crew Motorfest. Let's go. Real quick before I get into the video, if you're looking for any of my builds, I have a full spreadsheet of builds for Need for Speed Heat, Need for Speed Unbound, and the community builds for Need for Speed Unbound, and I'm adding Motorfest tunes as well. You can go to militiagamingcode.com/builds and you will find those builds. And in addition to that, if you want to submit your builds for testing, you can do that on the same exact page. Just scroll down and enter your information in either the Motorfest form or the Unbound form. I'll check it out when I have a chance, and maybe you'll be featured in a video like this. All right, let's get into this. All right, so first let's take a look at the stats and the tune that I've got on the car. 280 mile per hour top speed, pretty common for hypercars. 2.7 acceleration, 19.5 for braking, and 1.46 for lateral G's. All pretty good stats for the car. These stats should maybe be taken with a grain of salt. Sometimes you see the stats and you want to compare this car to that car, but what really matters is the on-track or on-race performance, and this one actually performs pretty well. Now I'm comparing it to the Jesco and I'm comparing it to the Revuelto. Both of those cars run a 120 on my test course, which is Achieving Immortality. I don't know why I can't remember that name ever. Anyway, I ran this LaFerrari on that same course and I've got a 122, so it's within 2 seconds of those cars, and so that made me want to test it in the grand races, and thus the video for you guys for the daily build. Now these daily builds, I want to let you know, I'm not like just picking out all of like the best cars. Although I want to give you the best cars, sometimes I try a car, it performs well in the tests, and so that makes me interested in how it will do in the grand races, and thus this video, like I said. So anyway, let's take it out to the grand race and see how this thing actually performs. But first, let's take a look at how I tuned it. So scrolling down to the suspension, aero load front -16. This is the most aggressive I've ever been with the aero load in the front. That makes the front not as grippy as the rear. This car is massively oversteers in corners. This actually helped to tame that just a little bit. And then everything else I did on the suspension is the same situation. I left the front alone, increase the stiffness on the rear, increase the stiffness on the rear, increase the stiffness on the rear. So for the suspension, we've got +10 on the spring rear, +20 on the compression, +20 on the rebound. Now going down to the anti-roll and the alignment or the camber, we got -5 in the front, so we made that a little softer, and then +10 in the rear. And camber, we've got 0 in the front and -0.25 in the rear. So we're trying, basically everything that I've done here is to try to add or just give the car a little bit of grip in the back, make the back end a little stiffer so that it corners better and it's grippier, so that it understeers just a little bit compared to its stock version. If you drive this thing stock, it is wildly an oversteery, wild, crazy car. So anyway, this tamed it a little bit. I can't say all the way, but it tamed it a little bit. It allowed me to drive a pretty fast time on the test course. So anyway, let's get out to the grand races and see how we do. All right, so this is the first official like grand race test for the LaFerrari. I've driven it in the grand race before, but it was before we put the Pro Tune on and before I did my testing. And so let's see how this thing does. We're starting in 24th and we've got rain. So this is going to be really, really bad. This is not the best way to start this. Wow. That literally was not even necessary. I've used almost all of my NOS so far that they gave me at the start. We're just gonna, there is cars flying everywhere. We're gonna just try to stay on the road. That guy was unable to do that. Ah, Jesus, dude. What is this game? I just need to get away from these people. Just let me get away. Ah, come on, dude. That's kind of my bad. Can I get out of the dirt? Can I get out of the dirt, please? This might not be great. Holy moly, dude. All right, we're braking. Are we gonna get smashed by someone behind us? That guy crashed, didn't respawn his car. All right, let's just take it easy on the throttle. This thing is the king of oversteer, bro. That's all it wants to do. All right, don't look now. We made it into the top 10. Dude. Okay, can you reset your car? Why are you just sideways on the track, bro? So far, this has been an absolute nightmare. I'm not gonna lie. I just got to get by these guys. How am I in 7th? Also, what is happening, dude, with this rain? This is like the most oversteery car that I've driven, and it just understeers in the rain. I do not like this at all. I'll tell you right now, I don't like this car for the grand races. It seems to be very difficult to drive. All right, let's set ourselves up here. Oh my god, dude. Man, it does so, like, pretty well. Not so, I can't say so well, but pretty well for my test. But just, the grand race is just another experience, dude. And it goes to show you that, like, you can't judge the car only based on the testing. I'm like stuttering because I'm trying to keep the car on the road. It just doesn't perform under these types of pressure, it seems like. Somehow we're still in 10th. Let's see if we can't make up some places. I didn't mean to tap that guy. He just happened to be... All right. Not one to crash people, but please don't hit me. Thank you. I got away scot-free. All right, we're gonna go hard for this last little bit. Oh no! I bumped. I forgot about the speed bump, dude. There's a speed bump there, and it totally throws your car. All right, we don't need to overdrive. We can just drive safely. Maybe we can get ourselves a 2nd place. Nope, that's a bridge, guy. Oh my god, I passed somebody and they didn't try to ram me? That is strange, bro. Also, the guy in front of me's name is Soggy Loops. That is terrible, dude. Not the name, just like... Imagine Soggy Fruit Loops? Sounds disgusting. Are we... I feel like we've broke away from the pack that just really has a hard time driving. I had a really rough time in the LaFerrari this time. Oh, that was not as hard of a corner as I thought it was. %. We've got one more vehicle change. If we hang in there... Oh, dude, Leffy's in 1st. All right, I know the guy. I don't know Yobu, but I know who Leffy is. And yeah, there's no way we're catching that. Not after that insane start we had. We would have to have a very clean race to try to catch. So 1 and 2, I think, are gone, absolutely gone. The fight now is for 3rd place. So let's see what we can do here. That was a very good pass for that. All right, let's get ourselves a nice gutter. I like it. This car oversteers as well, but tends to have a little more grip for Street 2. It feels a little nicer to drive in my opinion, than the Corvette. A lot of people use the Corvette. We gotta track down Mr. Dr. MVP. Game's getting a little framey here. This is gonna be a tough ask. All right, concentration mode has been activated. That was a cut that I missed. Let's not overdrive. He took that cut. I'm gonna go ahead and take the street. See if we can't gain on him a little. %. This is where I really need the slip. I'm going to conserve the NOS for this one. There it is. Can we get him? He had a little bit of NOS at the end. Dr. MVP with the third. Nicely done, dude. A shout out to Leffy. He's one of the guys that runs the Need for Speed League. Anyway, I can't recommend this Ferrari for the grand races. Like, I literally got lost in the other two cars because that first section was just so horrible. Like I said, it performs pretty well in my tests. When it comes to the grand races, it's a completely different ball game, and especially in the rain, dude, just almost no grip. It just felt absolutely terrible. It was not ready for this stage yet, and so I just can't recommend it. And that's the video, man. I'm not out here just picking out the best cars, although I want to give you the best cars. Sometimes we come across a car like this that feels good in the tests, go out to a grand race, and it just doesn't feel great at all. Now, obviously, with some practice, I could probably do better, but we want to find cars that are easier to drive, that perform fairly well on the grand race, because that's the main PvP aspect of the game. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this daily build. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.